Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Cathy for June 2021. I'm over here at the Chalmers Jones Park in this beautiful gazebo, and it is nice and cool right now, but we know it's not going to stay that way. So I have a chance to show you what we've got ready for people in our community. And behind me over here, our splash pad is up and running. Austin is out here right now making sure it's ready to go, and it will be open tomorrow. So we want to make sure folks know that this is the place to come and cool off. But even if you're in the cold water of the splash pad, remember that the heat can also be very dangerous. So um, I'm glad to have the covered shelter here. And then over at the Civic Center, over here, we will have a cooling shelter open from 1 to 7. So if you have a place that you live and it is not air conditioned, for your own safety, we ask that you come to the cooling center so you can be in a space where the temperatures are far more uh, welcoming for human life. Also, Monday through Friday, St. Edward's will be open this coming week as a cooling center. Please watch our website, watch Facebook for announcements, official announcements of cooling centers. There are several open now in Salem, getting ready to beat the heat. But also, we ask every single person to take time and do some very basic things. Thinking back on some of the other things we've been dealing with, there are certain things each of us can do. And the number one thing that you can do is stay out of the sun. I know that sounds really simple and it sounds elementary, but it is absolutely critical to stay out of the heat during the heat of the day. Set up shade, set up moving air, and our good old friend H2O, along with electrolytes. These are recommendations from every single health authority you can possibly imagine, including your mom and your grandma. So always remember that they know best. Keep hydrated, keep cool. If you have things planned, postpone them. It'll be okay. When it cools off, it'll be a much better time for everybody anyway. We know there are people who have to be out during the hot weather, so please be very careful around them so they can get their job done and get back into sheltered or air conditioned areas. Together, Kaiser, we're going to get through this. We're going to beat the heat just like everything else. And we're going to do it by taking care of ourselves. Instead of put on your oxygen mask first, drink your water first so you can help others. And then we can help our neighbors as well. I especially urge everyone to check in on elder or shut-in neighbors to make sure that they're okay. In other hot weather events that I've been in when I lived in other states, the biggest concern among some of the elders were that they would not open up their windows because of fear. They wanted to make sure their doors and windows were locked for security. The problem was that they didn't have air circulation and it was in some case deadly. So again, check on your elder neighbors, check on any shut-ins that you know of, network, communicate, and take care of each other. And we also cannot overemphasize to get shelter and water for every single pet, every animal. Make sure that they have what they need. This is not a common event for this area of the country. We're used to more temperate and cooler climate, but a lot of us have lived in other places where we have been in these situations. We know what it's like to be in extreme heat, and in some cases, very high humidity. The Midwest was a real treat when I lived there. Um, so you have to be very, very cautious and respect it. So there's your mom lecture. Um, be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Do not be one of the reasons that the fire district has to be called for assistance. But if you need them, they're going to be there. Betty, would you please talk about what's going on with the Kaiser Fire District and their preparation for the heat wave and fire safety in our community? Thank you, Betty.
Yes, what you were right on with all of your advice, Cathy. It is important to stay hydrated and to drink lots of water, even more than you're used to drinking. And to stay indoors. The other thing that would be important is to avoid alcohol because it tends to dehydrate people. And so treat that as risky right now more than it is usually. And not only the older people in your neighborhood, but younger people too, because kids can be very vulnerable to the heat. And as the mayor mentioned, your pets, they're so important to us and often treated like members of our family. So heat exhaustion, I can't even say that word, exhaustion and heat stroke are common in this kind of weather. So if you become fatigued in the heat, stay home or go home. And if it becomes dramatic, then, call 911 and somebody, they'll respond and help you with that. One of the things I thought of that might be helpful for people who don't have other resources would be to use washcloth or hand towel and wet it to kind of keep yourself cool. And that can be helpful too, which will be more important right now. The Marion County Defense Board has taken care of or declared a burn ban throughout Marion County. There's been one here in Kaiser anyway, but of course it's a much riskier situation with the high temperatures and how dry it is. I mean, we think of ourselves as being wet, and it just rained last week or whenever that was. And unfortunately, that wasn't enough rain to make up for the drought we were already in or to provide much relief to our plants and things. So one of the things to be cautious about too is if you go to the river or up the canyon to one of the parks that are on one of the rivers, be careful because the rivers are very cold still. They have not had enough time to heat up. Even though it's going to be 100 degrees outside, it can still be 30 or 40 degrees in the water. So jumping into the water can just almost paralyze you in a way because the water will be so cold. So, take it easily and enjoy the river and don't let it be your enemy. Apparently there have been some people killed already down at the beach from sneaker waves. So they can be a big problem too if you go down to the beach and you want to be careful there. You can, of course, call 211 and get more information about cooling centers or other resources that you might need. If you're not familiar, 211 is sort of like 411 or 911, except it's focused on resources available to people most often in the arena of social services, but I'm sure they're pretty well up to date right now with respect to cooling issues. So that's the key thing I want to talk about. Before I talk about a couple of other things, I want to congratulate Colleen again. She will be sworn in on Thursday, July 1st, anyway, at 3:00 p.m. and to the Kaiser Fire District Board of Directors. And I'm delighted to have her there. I do not believe there's ever been two women on the board. I know there was another woman who served on the board in the mid-90s. So we're making history, Colleen. So the fire district, among all other fire districts in Washington County, Clackamas County, and Marion County, have been alerted and mobilized to Eastern Oregon in fear of lightning fires. And last year, because of the number of fires that Kaiser Fire District responded to, we were down on the list as number 12 when things started. We are now up to number 6 to be mobilized. So that many things have occurred that have brought us further up the ladder. So we do expect a really bad fire season this year and starting earlier than usual. So the district has been following Senate Bill 762 with respect to wildland fires and reimbursements to fire districts like ours and other agencies who have to respond to fires in the wildland area. And of course, you know, actually, I know there's some of our firefighters that like to do that. They find it, you know, exciting and all that kind of stuff, but it takes a toll because not only is it, you know, big long shifts and little rest and all of that, we have to bring in other people who are otherwise off duty to take their place and respond to local calls here. And the fire district's going to have a board training in August at our regular meeting on the third Tuesday. We do that usually in July, but we have some fire board members who are going to be away. And it looks this year like the fire district will not be participating in Oktoberfest. We're planning to take kind of a year off, if you will, to sort of reconfigure what it is that we really want to do there. We've had supply chain issues. We've had all the supplies donated in the past, and one of those companies changed hands, and they have a different policy than we dealt with in the past. And so, you know, I'm sure all of the firefighters are just waiting for the bell to ring and say it's time to go. And while I'm at it, I want to welcome RJ Navarro. I know you're going to get a chance to introduce him, but congratulations to you. So I think that's it for me now. So Cathy.
Quick question, Betty.
Yes.
Can you just, I'm sure that Jonathan will probably talk about it. Can you speak to the participation of the district in the Kaiser Fest that's coming up?
Well, usually we do stand by in terms of being able to respond for, especially during the parade, and check in at the tent and stuff in order to be sure things are safe there. And I know it sort of intrigued me when I learned this, but they station a fire truck and an ambulance on one side of River Road so they can go that way, and another one on the other side of River Road so they can go that way in case there are calls. They don't have to interrupt the parade on River Road to get there. So I think they'll be doing their usual part. I need to check in that more closely because I just love riding in the fire truck in the parade. So I'm hopeful I'll be able to do that again. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I've been able to ride in the fire truck a long time ago with Bob, and Mr. Jim Trett was driving that. He loves to drive the number one down that street. So I had another question, but I forgot. So go ahead.
Well, we've got time for us to circle back with additional questions. And thank you, Betty, for introducing Mr. RJ Navarro. I'll let you tell us how you would like us to address you. And again, congratulations on being appointed to represent Kaiser on the Salem-Kaiser Area Transit Board. It's a fantastic opportunity for service, and Colleen has been a tremendous asset in building relationships between the transit district and our entire community. And I know that you are going to continue that and bring your special gifts and talents into this arena. So welcome, and I hope that you will join us as a regular contributor to Coffee with Cathy. This has been an opportunity that we were able to grab a hold of when COVID started and our in-person meetings could no longer happen. So elected officials, appointed officials, and chamber leadership were willing to come together and create this virtual Coffee with Cathy. I do have my coffee cup. It has my name on it. and get good information out to the community directly from us. Um, I will get the capability of getting back onto Facebook Live for chat and so forth, but this does get posted to the City of Kaiser Facebook page and Channel 23. So it's a great opportunity to share what's going on in each of our districts because it affects the lives of every single person that lives in Kaiser. So we're happy to have you. And Colleen, would you kind of do the handoff to RJ?
Okay. Thank you, Mary Clark. This has been a tremendous experience. And I'm probably going to get emotional, but just visiting every month and being at meetings and being among lots of folks. I did a lengthy presentation for my last remarks at the board meeting on Thursday. And I just talked about all the connections, because we connect people with places, as our transit district tagline is, with the world-class customer service. And that's our goal, to try and be the best. And we are the cleanest transit district in the state of Oregon. It's right on our bus. We're part of the, we have a seal of approval from APTA, American Public Transportation Association, on the bus that tells about our commitment to your safety as a rider, for the cleanest bus, for the for sanitation procedures, protection for you against all that's been going on, specifically COVID. So we have I think what I want to do is just kind of review past year. Are you able to share the video, Cathy, or maybe I can try and do that. I have a share feature, so let's see if I can do that. I know we haven't practiced this, but I apologize. Oh, it's been disabled, so you have to allow me to be able to do that. Do you know how? And you're muted, so I don't know what. Can't do it. Okay. Well, on our Facebook page, there's been a year in review. It's our yearly presentation of what's happened during COVID, how the transit district has pivoted like everyone else in the country and the world, and how we've done our very best to try and keep our riders, our staff, our operators, everyone safe and healthy. And so one of those things has been the no fare system, so you enter by the back door, and distance seating, as well as distance on the transit property, and wearing of masks. So a couple things are changing starting Monday. We are going to start giving you the ability to purchase fares, which will start being collected on July 6th. And you can purchase those at the Transit Center downtown in the customer service area. That will be open just for that. You can purchase it at Safeway stores, Roth's IGA, and Chemeketa Community College. You can purchase your bus passes, and I'll go back to the regular fare prices. I believe it's $1.60 one way, and there are some reduced prices. So go to chariots.org to find that information. Oh, here's my introduction for the video. So Stephen Custer had really been a fantastic asset to the Chariots team, and he helped to put this all together. So typically we produce an annual report to provide information on our mission, guiding principles, and achievements in the past year. So that's what the video will be about. The disruption brought by a global pandemic halfway through our 2019-2020 fiscal year afforded an opportunity to go in a different direction, pivot. Project lead Stephen Custer brought in Skyline Video Productions to create a year in review based on a script by Communications Director Patricia Feeney. We want to thank the board president, Ian Davidson, and general manager, Alan Pollock, for their time and commitment to this project. They are the featured actors in the video. And through a different lens, that's how we captured Chariots' story during COVID-19. And it's a fantastic little 4 to 6 minute video. And one other announcement we had at our board, it's exciting. The FTA announced $182 million in project selections through the Low, No, or No Emission Grant Program, which funds the deployment of zero emission and low emission transit buses and supporting equipment and facilities. A total of 49 projects in 46 states and territories will receive funding through the program. The program supports transit agencies in purchasing or leasing low or no emission buses and other transit vehicles that use advanced technologies such as battery electric and fuel cell power to provide cleaner, more energy efficient transit service in communities across this country. This year's funding opportunity prioritized applications with an environmental justice component, which Chariots has, as well as those that support workforce development and to help America's transit workers succeed, even as their jobs change along with technology. And Oregon in the list, there they are. Salem Area Mass Transit District will receive $6,305,422 to purchase electric buses, along with the 5 we're already getting. We're getting, I think it's 5 more. And to replace the aging diesel buses, part of the agency's plan to create an electric bus corridor, Route 11, Lancaster Drive, from way out south all the way to Kaiser Transit Center. Yes, yes, yes. The corridor running between the cities of Kaiser and South Salem will provide a green transit alternative with access to jobs, schools, healthcare, and other services while reducing emissions and fuel consumption. And one of our busiest stops is there at Sunnyview in Lancaster. So right in the middle of it. And at the same time, we're working on other connectivity in South Salem with the South Salem Transit Center. And I know that when I started, I felt like I was being fed with a fire hose. So RJ, I'm sure you can get up to speed, and I hand it off to you. I appreciate your willingness to step up and your service-oriented commitment to the community by what I've seen in your community service for the veterans and et cetera. So I am done. Congratulations. Thank you. And you can go ahead and talk if you want to. Go for it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, first, thank you, Colleen, for all of your work that you've done for us. You're amazing.
Oh, really quick. This is my gifts back here. I got a plaque. Can't see it all. It says, for your dedicated service and contributions to Salem Area Mass Transit District, representing Subdistrict 2, Board of Directors, July 2015 to June 2021. And I did serve as secretary for 2 years in there. And I got a hat. So here we go. Chariots. Da! Okay, now I'm done.
Awesome. Yeah, and I look forward to continuing your work. I know you've been a big advocate for getting those zero emission vehicles in the fleet, and now we're getting 5 more. And so we're really excited about that. I believe that we're going to be installing a charging station for the buses at the Kaiser Transit location as well. That's going to help get those vehicles charged on their route. And what else did we have going on? And then I think that at the Kaiser Transit Station, they're also going to be trying to get a fast charger for the park and ride individuals so that they can hopefully start utilizing that service a little bit more. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I advocate for veterans a lot in everything that I do as a veteran myself. And so one thing I want to try to do is try to get some reduced fares. Right now we have the reduced fare for people that are struggling, that have like a mental health diagnosis or a disability, which is great. I'd like to see something that just recognizes veterans in particular. So that's one thing that I hope to advocate for. We also hope to advocate for expanding service to veterans in rural communities to be able to get them to the services that are located in urban areas, like our Salem Vet Center that's here on Portland Road, like the CBOC that's over off of McGillcrest, to get them, connected with those vital services, the Marion County Veterans Service Office, off Commercial, and continue with that through that lens that we want to be using zero emission vehicles, or that's the goal. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have right now. As you said, I'm waiting for that fire hose to dump all that data on me. so I can really get brought up to speed. But yeah, I feel confident in Alan and Ian and everybody on the board that's been doing such an amazing job to get us to this point, that we're doing great things. We're recognized as as the cleanest fleet in Oregon, and we're making history. We're making history as one of the I think now it's one of the youngest boards that we've ever had. I think the average age is about 37 now, which is awesome. To be able to get those different perspectives all in one place is really unique, and something that I appreciate. I think that's all I have for right now. I mean, I'm really excited. I hope to be at the rest of the Coffee with Cathy meetings. So in the past, I've tried attending those, and that's been really difficult because I got 2 little ones, or 3 little ones, and 2 bigger ones. But it's been difficult because they don't have school during those days, so it's really hard to make it to those meetings. But now we're working with a child care provider that offers drop-in daycare for civic engagement matters, and she's able to apply for funding to be able to support us in that. So that's something that we hope to continue doing and utilizing. And when it comes, I mean, those are really big shoes that I have to fill. So I'm gonna try to reach out to the rest of the meetings. It's a lot. It's kind of difficult to attend during the Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday meetings. But I'm going to be doing my best to try to fill those shoes, because what you did was really important in connecting the community, Colleen, and letting them know that they had somebody that they could go to when they wanted to voice their concerns for chariots.
Thank you very much. And you might get to ride the bus in the parade.
Exciting. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I think your family can go with you too, and it is a lot of fun.
Well, at least for the holiday parade that happened. I don't know about festival.
Up in December. So again, welcome, RJ. I'm happy to have you as a regular contributor here, but more importantly, to welcome you to your service on the board. We will all be supporting you and help you out, and you let us know, what you can bring to the work we're doing. I think but for the viewing audience, I'm the chair of the Salem Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the MPO for federal transportation funding. And on that board, of course, is included Salem Kaiser Transit. And so we work collaboratively across the cities, the counties, transit, and the school district to make sure that we're looking at transportation options and multimodal transportation in a very holistic fashion. One of the examples you're going to see, and you've already been seeing in the ask for your input, is the Wheatland Road multimodal corridor study we're doing right now. And that is going to be completed very soon. We know that there are gaps on Wheatland Road, with the sidewalks. We have a sidewalk, no sidewalk, sidewalk, no sidewalk. We also have transit. We've got bike. We've got passenger vehicles. We have freight, and we have farm vehicles, because that is a key connection to our rural agricultural businesses and farms. So looking at that corridor holistically made sense. And we're doing that right now. We got a grant through SCATS to do that work. And once that is complete, we will then be able to delineate the projects that need to be done and then go for construction dollars to get those done. But we wanted to figure out what to build that would actually be very accommodating and for capacity and safety for all the modes that use that space and can share it safely. So RJ, you're going to be hearing a lot about that particular project as we move forward. And there's going to be great conversation for some other projects that we are working on here in Kaiser that will promote multimodal, interoperable types of transportation facilities. So it's a great regional group. We all work together because we want to get to, yes, you can choose how you're going to get from point A to point B, and we want you to get there safely and efficiently. So, and thank you for your service and for your advocacy for our veterans. That is absolutely important and critical. And you know that you and many other veterans who live in our community deserve and have earned our utmost thanks and respect, and providing appropriate services is absolutely one small way we can do that. So thank you. What I'd like to do now is go to, I do want to make a big plug for one of our regular contributors, Pastor Jose Dominguez of La Luz de Valle Church, was not able to join us today. He had family things going, but he has been a regular contributor, a voice for the community, for where we are very holistically as we've traveled the path known as 2020 and 2021. And he wanted to make sure that everybody knows that a vaccination clinic was held at the church on the 14th, and to continue to put out the message, especially for our Latino community, that the vaccinations are available. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you are wondering how you can access them, please, please, please do get a hold of Pastor Dominguez and the great staff there, also at Marion County Health. And they'd be more than happy to talk with folks and help them get what they need, information and services for their health, especially with the devastation that we are now hopefully leaving behind of COVID-19. So, and thank you, Pastor Dominguez, for your leadership and your love in our community. So, Jonathan, the questions, actually, comments have been made about Kaiser Fest. We know that's not the only thing that the Chamber is doing. You've been very, very busy in this last year. You just installed a new board. There's lots going on. Oh, and about that executive director. Take it away, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'll go a little bit out of order on my notes, but yeah, our board elections ended last night. We're not ready to make any official announcements. The committee still has to meet to approve the results, which is double check the results. So, but we will be getting a new president. I am free as of July 1st, so I am excited about that. I got sucked into a second year during COVID, and it was only supposed to be a one-year term, but it was an honor to serve. And Bob Shackelford, he was the only one running for president, so I am confident in announcing that he has won, and he will be taking over on July 1st. So I'll still be on the board, but in a different role. So I'm excited for that. That will be a good change. And then Corey Filardo is doing a wonderful job in the executive director role, and we are, I believe, close to announcing another hire for the office, which will help round out the team, and really excited for that when we can make that announcement. So good things happening at the Chamber, getting new members all the time, which we're happy to see. People are seeing the value, and we appreciate that. You mentioned, Mayor, earlier about the heat this weekend. I would like to put in a plug that this is a really great time to turn off your stove and your oven and visit one of our local air-conditioned restaurants for dinner tonight and tomorrow night, or take out if you want to do that as well. Kaiser has been so wonderful in supporting all the small businesses as through this pandemic, and this is a way where you can help small business and not turn on your stove. So I put a plug for that in as well. And I'm sure many people saw the announcement from the governor's office yesterday, but after 15 long months, no later than Wednesday, the masking, physical distancing, and capacity limits at the vast majority of small businesses will be gone. So we will be able to reopen and get back to quote unquote normal for many places, and it's needed badly. There's been a lot of struggles over the last 15 months, but again, a huge thank you to Kaiser. Kaiser did what they always do in a time of struggle. They united, and Kaiser has come through this pandemic much better than many communities because of the local support. It's not to say that we didn't lose some valuable members of the small business community, but for the most part, folks came through folks are coming out the other side, and that was the goal. Get through it, and then we can talk about rebuilding after that. But folks have done that, and it's all because the community rallied, and we appreciate that so much. And with the reopening comes Kaiser Fest. We are doing most of a Kaiser Fest this year One of the things that I didn't see coming is that with the pandemic shutdown, most of the carnival companies shut down and they have not yet come back. So I highly doubt that we will have a carnival this year, but we will do most of the rest of Kaiser Fest. August 4th, we're kicking things off with a golf tournament out at McNary. August 5th through the 8th, we will have the tent and the bands up and going, the vendor booths. One of the things we're exploring now is there are a lot of people who picked up hobbies and art skills during the pandemic. So we'll have a little more space, assuming we don't have the carnival, to put more vendor booths, and we hope that some of those people will come show off their newly acquired skills at Kaiser Fest. So August 7th, as we talked about, is the parade. Applications are out, so please visit the chamber website for those, but we're looking forward to getting people back along River Road and having a big community celebration. And then also, probably not the best day to talk about running outside, but we will have the fun runs on August 7th again. I think we're planning for a 3K and a 5K. So that, along with the pet parade and the big parade, will happen on August 7th. So we're just very excited to be able to pull the community together under a big umbrella, and there'll be lots of different bands and lots of different food. We got some new food vendors coming in this year. That'll be very exciting. So we're looking forward to a good show. And like I said, it's been a long 15 months, but the light is definitely at the end of the tunnel, and I can safely say that it's not a train. So we're coming out on Wednesday. So thank you again. But again, thank you to Kaiser for everything.
Thank you, Jonathan, for your leadership, and to the board, and to Mark Collier, who served as the interim executive director, and congratulations to Corey Filardo. I now know how to pronounce her name. That tripped me up several times. And I am very excited to see how we as a community are finding new paths forward. Before we started recording today, we were talking about how Zoom is adapting and providing hybrid options, because so many of us have found the advantages of these types of settings in certain applications. And then there's other things where we just have to be in person. And we now value that even more as we come back together. So I think we're going to see some, in the new normal, we're going to have some efficiencies that we've come to enjoy through the online platforms and other things where we can really spend the quality time together. I'm looking forward to Kaiser Fest, not just the event itself, but what it means for our community as we come together so we can plan for our future. So thank you, Jonathan. Please let Bob know. I'll be tagging him up to be on this going forward, and to join us for Coffee with Cathy.
It's going to be great because Bob is one of the guys on our board that absolutely despises Zoom. So it will be my honor to put him into this position.
Oh, it reminds me of
We lost your sound, Cathy. Cathy, we didn't hear anything you're saying.
come on.
Okay, I think you're
Okay,
back.
am I back?
Yes.
Okay, I just said internet unstable. That happens. Yeah, I worked with somebody who went from not knowing how to minimize the screen to now knowing how to screen share on Zoom. So huge shift for a lot of us learning how to navigate a lot of technology. There's another big change that happened in Kaiser at Volcano Stadium, which is now home of the Mavericks League. The elimination of the attendance caps could not have come at a better time, because the patriotic weekend for the 4th of July is always a huge, huge event. And they were hoping to be able to do that with as many people as possible. That now looks like a go. So please watch their website, their Facebook, and get a hold of Volcano's Mavericks League organization to see how you can be part of the patriotic celebration at Volcano Stadium. And I'm working on a special presentation that I will be doing at the 4th of July. So stay tuned for that. A little bit of a teaser out there. But this is an organization that had to pivot from being completely shut down, and with the support of the community, with their expertise in their area of professional baseball, have been able to not only come through last year and still contribute to the community, opening up Volcano Stadium to people who were driven away from their homes and properties during the fire, being available for community markets and other events. They didn't look this as a time to turtle up, but they kept pushing forward as full community members. And I want to give a personal and heartfelt thank you to the Walker family, Jerry, Lisa, and Mickey, for having that vision to be there and now thrive into the future. Another event coming up that gets to make a quick shift. Colleen, you're on the Marion County Fair Board. Tell us about the fair.
Thank you very much. I'm as a key volunteer. Mike Adams, one of our local chamber members, is the president of the Fair Board, and the board itself has been working diligently trying to, to make this a go. We had plans of A, B, C, if this, then this, okay, pivot, if this, then this, so many organizations had to do that. And Marion County Fair is happening July 7 through 9. The 4-H portion and 4-H and FFA portion is throughout that week prior. Certain animals are coming in and being checked out and judged different days. So they're not everybody's there all at the same time because of capacity. And even that I don't think that will completely change, but because of the new get-tos, there will be some changes. And again, we just got another, like yesterday, another update. So buy your tickets in advance. It's $5 right now. It will go up, I believe, starting next week, the closer you get to the fair, because they do have to keep track of capacity and they take that very seriously because we don't want to go backwards. So public competitions, if you've done something, get on marioncountyfair.net. I believe that's it. And enter it. Enter your stuff, get in there, and you might get something. You might, and it's a stretching experience all the way around, right? Show off something that you've done in the past, whether it be food or clothing or technology, Legos. There's photography. Last year was all photography based, and that was a great alternative. And there was a friendly competition going on that was pretty good too between Commissioner Brentano and I believe it was Tamargush of Getch of Marion County with a floral arrangement. So anyway, Marion County Fair, Made in Marion, July 7 through 9.
Thank you, Colleen. What a great way to take that next step forward as our county, as leading the way on what we're going to do, how we're going to work together and take care of each other into post-COVID, what that looks like. So just a couple of things I want to wrap up with today. Fireworks. Last year, we had some conversations with our Kaiser Police Department. People were not reporting when fireworks were being shot off in the middle of the night. And our police chief made it very, very clear. Do report. Do give a real-time report to the Kaiser Police Department. You can use the non-emergency number. That information will get to them. But most importantly, what it helps them do is to zero in on the folks that are habitual offenders in this area. And as Betty pointed out, this year in particular, the illegal fireworks are extremely dangerous because of the dry conditions. I saw a post on Facebook. Somebody actually asked, well, does anybody really know how many fires are started by illegal fireworks? My husband was like, yes. My husband's a retired fire chief. Yes, illegal fireworks are illegal because of the way that they fly and spread sparks. And to that individual who asked the question, sparks are little bits of fire. They land on something that can burn, it starts a fire. Yeah. I, so therefore, yes, do not shoot off the illegal fireworks. If you do, and you're in Kaiser, it is a highly likely scenario that you will get a visit from our friendly neighborhood Kaiser Police Department to knock it off. And we need to make sure that people understand that. Betty.
Cathy. Yeah, so you just reminded me of something that's important. Even if you're using legal fireworks, and I want to give a shout out to McNary High School Band. They're selling legal fireworks on River Road, and actually, I think they're collecting cans and bottles too, which I always take my cans and bottles to them, but have a hose on hand so that if sparks get out of hand, you can quickly try to douse that so it doesn't, because it is dangerous out there, and the grass in your lawn or wherever can be quickly shoot out, and it would just be a really bad thing. So
So we want to help get the word out that we don't do that illegal fireworks, absolutely not. The bucket of water, whatever you need to do to make sure that we keep it safe for everyone over the Independence holiday. And so everybody comes out on the other side with all fingers and toes and homes intact to enjoy the next time going forward. So hang on just a sec. So being a shared public space, it's awesome. I love our community coming out and enjoying time together. With that, I would like to give a shout out. Speaking of getting outside and enjoying time together, a shout out to Claire Snyder, who organized the Pride event last weekend. It was a beautiful family community, it was a happy celebration, and it was just a wonderful time to see people, visit and appreciate one another person to person in a very beautiful way. So thank you, Claire. Thank you to Marion County Health was here. Our local Starbucks were here, and other organizations. Kaiser Homegrown Theater was here. So other organizations came and were very supportive and involved. And it was just a busy family time too. A lot of folks were at the skate park. I talked to some families from Salem that were just up here enjoying the day. So thank you that all people are treated and welcomed with dignity and respect in Kaiser. So want to make sure that folks know that. Anything else that you'd like to share as we adjourn this month's version of Coffee with Cathy? So I would like to thank our regular contributors, Colleen Bush from Salem Kaiser Transit, her successor, RJ Navarro, who will be joining us going forward for Salem Kaiser Transit, Betty Hart from the Kaiser Fire District Board, Jonathan Thompson from the Kaiser Chamber of Commerce, and our thanks to Pastor Jose Dominguez from La Luz de Valle, who will join us again next month. Be safe, be cool, be kind. We'll see you next time on Coffee with Cathy. Thank you all.